You ever wonder how you can go for a long, slow hike for hours, but then, bam, you can also sprint for a bus like your life depends on it? It's kind of weird, right? It's like you have two different bodies. Well, the secret isn't two bodies, it's two different engines. And we're going to break down exactly how they work. Right, so this is the big question, isn't it? How can the very same body run a marathon and a 100-meter sprint? I mean, those are polar opposites. The answer, and it's super cool, is that our bodies have two completely different ways of making energy. And that's what we're going to get into. Okay, so first things first. Before we can even talk about these engines, we got to talk about the fuel. I mean, every single thing you do, from a huge jump to just blinking, that needs energy. And the whole process kicks off with what you eat. This is like the #1 rule of moving. For any muscle in your body to do its thing, to contract, it needs energy. Think of it like a currency. No energy, no movement. It's really that simple. So the question is, how do we get that currency to where it needs to go? Well, it's basically this awesome food-to-energy pipeline. It starts when you eat foods with carbs, like rice or pasta. Then your body gets to work, digesting them down into a simple sugar called glucose. From there, that glucose hops into your bloodstream for a ride, getting dropped off right at your muscles. And that's where the magic happens. It gets converted into the actual usable energy. It's kind of like taking crude oil and refining it into super high-octane fuel for your cell. All right, so the fuel, that glucose we talked about, has made it to the muscle. Now what? Well, now your body has to make a choice. It's got to pick which engine to use to burn that fuel. And that choice, it depends entirely on what you're asking your body to do. So let's meet our two engines. And here they are, our two very different energy systems. On one side, you've got the aerobic system. This is your slow burn engine. Think of it like a super reliable diesel engine. It needs oxygen, it takes a little while to warm up, but man, is it efficient. It can just go and go and go for hours. Then on the other side, you've got the anaerobic system. This is your quick burst engine. This thing is a rocket booster. It doesn't need any oxygen, it gives you a ton of power, like right now, but it's not efficient at all and it burns out super fast. So let's pop the hood on that slow burn engine first, the aerobic one. The formula is actually pretty simple. It takes that glucose fuel, mixes it with the oxygen you're breathing, and boom, you get a nice, steady stream of energy. The best part about this whole thing is how clean it is. The only things left over are water and carbon dioxide, which your body gets rid of super easily. No mess, no fuss. That's what makes it so sustainable. Okay, now for the quick burst rocket booster. See the huge difference right away? There's no oxygen in this equation. It just grabs glucose and torches it for a super fast release of energy. But, and this is a big but, there's a catch. The byproduct here isn't that nice clean water and CO2. Nope. It's something called lactic acid. So what on earth is lactic acid? Well, you've definitely felt it. You know that burning feeling you get in your muscles when you're sprinting all out or trying to lift something really heavy? Yep, that's lactic acid. It's basically your body's alarm system screaming that this crazy high intensity can't last forever. That buildup is what makes you feel tired and puts a cap on how long that quick burst engine can really go full throttle. All right, enough with the science formulas. Let's see how these engines actually work out in the real world, right? And honestly, the best way to really get it is to look at how they power athletes in different sports. Okay, so take a marathon runner. Just think about it for a sec. They're running for hours at a pretty steady pace. Which engine do you think they're relying on? You got it. It's gotta be the slow burn aerobic system. There's no other way. They need that incredibly efficient, stable, long-lasting energy to keep them going over such an insane distance. If they tried to use the quick burst engine, they'd be toast before they even finish the first mile. Okay, now let's do a complete 180. What about an athlete, like a high jumper? They need a massive explosion of power that lasts for, maybe 2 seconds to clear that bar? Yep, that is a job for the quick burst anaerobic system for sure. It's perfect for this. It delivers a colossal amount of energy, like instantly. That's exactly what you need for an explosive move like a high jump. And since the whole thing is over in a flash, that lactic acid buildup we talked about, not really an issue. But here's where it gets really interesting. What about sports where you need both? Think about a game like football. Players are constantly, and I mean constantly, switching between engines. They're using their slow burn aerobic system just to jog around the field, to move into position, to conserve energy for the whole 90-minute game. But the second they need to sprint for a loose ball, make a hard tackle, or take a powerful shot on goal, bam, They instantly flip the switch to the quick burst anaerobic system for that sudden blast of intensity. So look, this isn't just about pro athletes. Not at all. This is about you. Because understanding these two engines can totally change the way you think about your own workouts and even just your day-to-day activities. So if there's one thing you take away from all this, it's this. It all boils down to two things: intensity and duration. How hard are you working and for how long? If you're doing something low intensity for a long time, like going for a light jog, you're in that aerobic slow burn zone. But the second you crank up the intensity for a short period, like a set of heavy squats, you fire up that anaerobic quick burst engine. So here's my challenge to you. The next time you work out, I want you to really think about this question. Pay attention to what your body's telling you. The feeling in your muscles, how you're breathing, how long you can keep it up. Were you in slow burn mode, tapping into that steady marathon runner inside you? Or did you fire up the quick burst rocket booster? Because understanding the answer, that's the first step to training smarter, not just harder.